This is the annual Capitalist Christmas Post, this time for 2022. This website and my Sunday Recommendations email list are dedicated to art that's inspiring, thought-provoking, skillfully executed, and/or breathtakingly beautiful. Once a year, I stretch that to include fabulous events, decorations, clothing, and jewelry on display during the holiday season. I've given you a link in the blog post to other Capitalist Christmas posts. When I lived in New York City, I didn't realize just how much money and effort stores were expending on their Christmas decorations compared to those in other areas of the country. It's a bit more difficult now that I live in Florida to find fantastic displays, but if I head out with a sense of wonder, I always find something. Here we go. Standing Ovations is a sand sculpture competition on the beach at Treasure Island, Florida, on the west side of the St. Petersburg Peninsula. It's held late in November, and it's the signal that the holidays and the snowbirds and the vacationers are coming. The sculptures last through the holiday season. My favorite this year is Humpty Dumpty Government Contract, sculpted by Damon Mary and Bruce Phillips. It was made with 9 tons of sand in 2 days, and it won 3rd place in the competition. According to signs that were posted at the competition, this is real sand, although not from the beach at St. Pete. The sand is dampened and compacted into wooden forms, working in 2-foot height increments. When the sculptors reach the desired height, they start removing the wood at the top and sculpt it as they move downward. Every sculpture is solid sand and water, no internal structure. There are wires at the top of some of the taller structures to keep off the birds, because when the birds take off, their talons damage the sculpture. Moving on. During December, the shops at Wiregrass, which is in Wesley Chapel, Florida, offer a 10-minute program several times each evening of Trans-Siberian Orchestra music coordinated with flashing lights of a giant Christmas tree. I've given you a link in the blog post to several short videos, and these are just before and after stills of the tree. And now we move on to diversity in Christmas decorations. The Old Lutz Schoolhouse, just north of Tampa, Florida, has several rooms that are densely packed with decorations, including a 12-foot-long table full of firemen, some of them looking like Santa Claus, and a patriotic Christmas tree in the center. There's also a room full of Lego projects, which mostly have nothing to do with Christmas, but they never seem to need an excuse to build Lego projects. Maybe because I've usually spent Christmas at home in the Northeast, I never realized that there could be any variety in a creche in a nativity scene. Here are a couple of the 24 or so examples at the Old Lutz Schoolhouse, including Indians, snowmen, Snoopy characters, and a variety of animals. On the right is a Holidays Collide sort of display, Christmas, except that it's also Halloween. And on the left is a blackboard drawing that I particularly liked. And now we move on to Dade City, Florida, which has for years been doing lavish Christmas displays along Church Street with musical entertainment and free hot chocolate and cookies. There is no admission and there are no fees anywhere. The houses are large and they are almost all lavishly decorated with lights. They also all have porches. I particularly like this sort of octagonal one. I would really like to have a porch like that. This is another front yard. Most of the houses also have these giant Christmas cards wishing you happy holidays. On the left we have musicians performing on a porch, which makes a nice stage. And on the lower right is the Dade City Symphony giving a free performance of Christmas medleys at the First Baptist Church, which has remarkably good acoustics for just a box, basically. Dade City's Christmas events also include a gingerbread competition. I had no idea that this was something people do. I don't think it's all gingerbread because I saw some frosted mini wheats as roof tiles, so it must just be everything has to be edible. And here's another two, including Olaf's Florida Vacation. And of course, throughout the town there are the usual range of inflatables on display. Multiple Grinches on the left, and on the right, Alligator Santa? No, maybe Dinosaur Santa? Maybe Lyle Crocodile Santa? I really don't know. Anyway, he literally outshines the real Santa, that's next to him on the right. My personal favorite among the inflatables is Grogu. He's just so cute. And that's the only one of those that I have seen anywhere this year. Two things in the category of silly gifts. Another Grogu, wearing a sweater this time, and I particularly like this one. Zombies eat brains, you're safe. And for closing, what Christmas means to me. This is a long quote from Ayn Rand in 1976. The picture was taken by my friend Godfrey Joseph at Disney World. Quoting Ayn Rand, "A national holiday in this country cannot have an exclusively religious meaning. The secular meaning of the Christmas holiday is wider than the tenets of any particular religion. It is goodwill toward men, a frame of mind which is not the exclusive property, though it is supposed to be a part, but is a largely unobserved part, of the Christian religion. The charming aspect of Christmas is the fact that it expresses goodwill in a cheerful, happy, benevolent, non-sacrificial way. One says, 'Merry Christmas,' not 'weep and repent,' and the goodwill is expressed in a material, earthly form, by giving presents to one's friends or by sending them cards in token of remembrance. The best aspect of Christmas is the aspect usually decried by the mystics, the fact that Christmas has been commercialized. The gift buying stimulates an enormous outpouring of ingenuity in the creation of products devoted to a single purpose, to give men pleasure. And the street decorations put up by department stores and other institutions, the Christmas trees, the winking lights, the glittering colors, provide the city," Ayn Rand lived in New York City, "with a spectacular display which only commercial greed could afford to give us. One would have to be terribly depressed to resist the wonderful gaiety of that spectacle." If you want to see more of my capitalist Christmas posts, go to my website and scroll down on the right until you see the capitalist Christmas tag. DianeDuranteWriter.com has hundreds of posts on sculpture, painting, architecture, and my other obsessions. To join the free Sunday recommendations email list, visit the URL that's on the screen or email me. And you can say, "Well done, Diane," or support my work and receive rewards by means of the tip jar on DianeDuranteWriter.com. As always, thank you for listening.